Oppression is what an apartheid. The gun is the master city enslaved. The pile of Africa's bleeding. Question, what was the purpose of the liberation when we can't have a peaceful transition? What was the purpose of the constitution when the government is pushing the constitution? See what you're doing to this nation. What are you teaching the future generation? See how our leaders become misleaders, and see how our mentors become tormentors. Ayuugumiza! Yaga yaga yo. We are fighting for freedom. Yaga yaga yo. We are fighting for freedom. Sing along, we are fighting for freedom. Wa Kenya, sing along, we are fighting for freedom. Yaga 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 ya. We are fighting for freedom. Sing along, we are fighting for freedom. Listen, whether educated or uneducated, food. How you feeling, yo? How you feeling, Ire? Are you feeling good? Do you want freedom? Yes, man. Big up in yourself. Big up all my friends, you know. It's always good to be here. Big up on yourself, Honorable Babu, you know. Tibim. Yeah, man. Comrades Tibim. Comrades Tiarara. Boom.
Welcome, Bobi and Babu Owino. Yes, Kachini. Can we get a microphone up here as well?
Yeah, wa baby. Babu wa baby. Bobi wine wa baby. Comrades. Sanja.
Karibuni sana. Welcome.
Yeah, let me get this for you.
All right. First of all, I don't know if you've noticed in our audience, there's a couple of people here who are paying tributes to you.
Respect. Yes. Wonderful.
Thank you, brothers. Asanteni.
Asante sana.
Some moments.
One of your people from Uganda as well. I'm told Brian from Uganda.
Brayo.
Yeah, Brayo from Uganda. The Ugandan flag up at the back. Uganda! East Africa! Boom! So I guess the first question I would ask you, Bobi, music to MP, to what people are calling a revolutionary, and young as well. And so, well, maybe for the youth and also to Babu, the same question. I will start with you, Bobi. Bobi and Babu, Double B. What role does the youth who are watching have, whenever they see things happening that go against them? What in Kenya tunaitwa kunyanyaswa. What role do they have, what can they do so that they get, like you said, to fight for freedom, to get that freedom that is so elusive sometimes?
First of all, the youth should know that this is their country, this is their region, this is their continent. So they have to do everything within their ability to improve this country, this region, this continent, when they still can.
All right.
Same question to you, Babu.
Thank you very much. Comrades power. Warembo Warembo Wazito Tibim. Thank you very much. I think gone are the days when youth should be used, misused, and abused by the old guards. This time round, youth should not be used as the people who are only attending political rallies, as the people who are only goons used to attack other aspirants or any other person after being given probably the alcoholic drinks, but it is the time for the youth to sit on the table, to participate in policy making, to be included in major decision making in the nation.
And on that note, Bobi, I'm going to ask you this question as you are transitioning from musician to politician. Did you face opposition at that time? Of, you know, you're a successful musician. Why do you feel the need to get into politics? Was there opposition for you at that time?
First of all, I'm not transitioning from anywhere to anywhere.
Okay.
I'm a musician, only that I'm a musician who is cautious enough to pay attention to how my country and my region and my continent. And secondly, of course, every time you have something and you're waking up to those that are stealing it from you, they're going to oppose you, they're going to fight you, you know. When I was just doing my music, it was all right, but the more I try to awaken fellow young people in Uganda and beyond, that's when you see these old guys rising up and trying to stop us from communicating, from waking up. They'd rather see us asleep.
Mm-hmm. So what is the thing that keeps you going? What's that thing that is constantly at the back of your mind whenever you face opposition, whenever you go through what the things that you went through? What's the one thing that at the back of your mind you are thinking about, this is why I'm doing this, this is what will make me wake up the next morning and keep on pursuing my cause?
I keep going because I know that what I think, what I believe, I don't believe or think about it alone. Even when I was incarcerated, many comrades, many guys that I've never met rose up in Uganda, in Kenya, all over Africa and the world as well. So I know that it's not just me, but we are very many young people with a common mind.
So applying it to the larger context of Africa, Babu, you know, watching what Bobi has been going through, this is a very historic time in terms of younger politicians, you know, more brazen politicians, people who are taking leadership at their own terms. What do you think that African youth can learn from his experience? What have you learned from his experience as a young politician as well?
I think change does not come easy. We have to fight for it, because they say that the tree of liberty is watered by the blood of our patriots. And I believe that as Bobi Wine has gone through a lot, sometime back in Kenya you saw what I went through, and I believe that nothing comes easy, because even and something good to happen, something must break. For a seed to germinate, the ground must break. For it to rain, the clouds must break. For a child to be born, something must break. And for Bobi Wine to be the president of Uganda, Museveni must break. Keep him.
Talking about that, Bobi, like Joya said, there are a lot of young people, and like you also said, that there are a lot of young people who rose up in support of you. But again, in the context of everyday lives of young people, they're dealing with so many things. Babu talked about how during election periods, there's alcohol, there's drug abuse. So in terms of the fight and quest for freedom, maybe you can tell us what's the situation like even in Uganda in terms of, because we have a problem with that in Kenya, drug and alcohol abuse. What's the situation there, and what can the youth who are watching it today do to get out from such and focus on causes like the ones that you have?
Well, those challenges are everywhere. But again, it's important to know that there's reality and there's stereotype. Mm-hmm. Many young people come from humble backgrounds, what you would like to call ghetto, if you will. Mm-hmm. So, besides all these challenges, we should know that we can outgrow everything. I am an example of that. I've gone through all these, but I managed to outgrow them. And it's the same message to the young people. At least they have people to look up to. They have myself, they have my comrade, the Honorable Babu, and they have themselves to also look at. Choose what is good and drop what is bad.
So There's a perception across Africa when it comes to politics in terms of, and I'm sure a lot of young people look and say, you know, when I enter politics, mi naenda kuiba, mi naenda, you know, I'm just going to get what I can get for myself. Leave. How do we change that perception so it's about leadership and it's about, you know, doing for the community and it's about service rather than what I can do? Because our predecessors have showed us that once we get in there,
you can do it and get away with it.
And get away with it. So how do we change that perception?
I think leadership is not dealership. It's providing direction and services to the citizens who elected you. There are different ways of making money, not just in politics, but the moment you choose the political path to be a leader is someone who sees before other people see. A leader is someone who sees what others cannot see. And a leader is someone who should provide services to the constituents who elected them, because time will catch up with you. How much money do you need? Obama said, how big a bed do you need? So by the end of the day, it's about service to your comrades, and that's when even God will elevate you. Okay?
How about you? Same question.
Well, my brother represented me well. I mean, I'll only add and say we've had examples, good and bad examples. We've had dictators and thieves posing like leaders. And we've seen revolutionary leaders, we've seen good leaders, we've seen the likes of Mandela, we've seen the likes of Julius Nyerere, and yes, we've seen the likes of Idi Amin and Yoweri Museveni. So look at both examples and choose one. Simple.
Choose one example.
Choose one.
Yeah. All right. And also the same, I'll go back again to using social media as a tool, because we saw that very used effectively, especially in your case. There was the hashtag Free Bobi Wine that was going on. How also can the youth use that? Because in the same space of social media there are also so many other things that go on, and people trying to make quick money, impress their friends, and yet we've also seen that it can be used as a good tool, like hashtag Free Bobi Wine. So how can young people get more involved in positive, for lack of a better word, positive vibrations?
Like you say, positive vibration, but wherever there's positive, there's negative. Right. Wherever there's good, there's evil, you know. So like Rasta say, choose good over evil. You know, the same way with social media, some people use it for the negative and others use it for upliftment. So we continue to call upon fellow young people to use every opportunity for the good. Yeah.
Speaking of social media, I want to take a couple comments from Twitter. Emmanuel Maboga says, we are indeed fighting for freedom. Bobi Babu combo is the tsunami of our continent. Let me take another comment here. Weros Pitaz says, Babu na Bobi, good job you're doing. Keep it up, guys. Let's see. These are our youth heroes. That's Ways Sulain. DJ Sanif says, big up to the Double Bs. You guys are a group now, I guess. Big up to the Double Bs as they represent the youth. And Brian Obocha as well saying, Bobi Wine is giving a word here with comrade Babu Owino. Please tune in. So as you're saying, social media can be used for either one and to spread the word of positivity as well.
Yeah. I also I have a question also as well in terms of how do you maintain, peace of mind? There's so many things going on in Uganda, and even for you, Babu, I always see your on Twitter, always talking about the things you oppose, whether they are pro or against the status quo or the government or whatever it is. So how do you get that peace of mind? Where do you find it in all this, in the midst of all the chaos that is life for you?
My brother, we have been taught that boats sink not because of the water around them, but because of the water that gets inside them. No matter how much negativity is around you, don't allow it to get inside you.
Don't allow it to get on the inside.
I think on what I post, I think I'm a free thinker. And there's a reason why I chose to be a leader and I chose to serve. So when things go wrong, I'll always correct. When things are okay, I'll be objective enough to appreciate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bobi, you corrected me in saying that you have not transitioned from music. So let's talk about music. I understand there's a concert that you have planned later on this month. You're releasing some new music.
I'm performing right from the first song I did
Okay.
up to the last song I recorded, the one that you have not heard.
Okay.
So,
Tell us
yeah.
about what we have not heard.
If I tell you about it, it won't be a surprise anymore. Just know
Okay,
I'm
tell
having...
us about the concert that you have planned. Then.
Yeah, the concert is going to take place on the 20th of this month in Nambole Stadium, and we're expecting 70,000 people.
70,000 people.
70,000.
Now, I've heard that you're facing opposition in even holding the concert.
Yeah.
Is that correct? And what are your plans in terms of just going forward with that?
Well, the regime back home is so scared. Not of me. They're scared of people, especially young people, coming together, speaking with one voice. But again, we know that good always trumps evil. So regardless of what they plan against us, we're going to do that concert, and it's going to impact positively on the people, especially the youths there.
That's what's up. 70,000 strong.
70,000 strong going to show up as well. And of course, there's also been some, like you said, there's always positive and negative. People have also questioned, sometimes online I see guys saying, how come Babu and MPs were rallying for Bobi Wine, and yet there were other problems that were happening in Kenya? And some would also question and say, why can Bobi Wine just keep quiet while the perceived notion of violence? So of course there are those comments. So we'd like to respond to them. We'll start with you, Babu.
I think, first of all, it's not about us being aggressive, but we are passionate.
Okay.
We are passionate to fight for the interest of the youths in this nation. We are passionate to ensure that the youths in this nation get education. Being a person who was brought up from the slums while selling changa, I'm passionate if I see a person telling me, a mother telling me that she lacks school fee for their child, and that makes me fight for a common mananchi. I get passionate when somebody tells me that they slept without food. And we know very well that we have problems in Kenya, but we had also problems, and we still have problems in Uganda. We are all Africans. We have to unite Africa. And we know injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So if we don't curb the other one, it will spread, because these people are friends. And we have to fight it passionately, spiritedly, ruthlessly, circumfoniously.
Excuse me? What now? So I know you've been talking to everyone at home watching through the TV, youth, but we have these beautiful people here. I want you guys to give them a word, because these guys show up for us every week. They're passionate about being young people. They have big dreams. And Willis starts the show every week by saying, we believe in you guys.
That's right. We
so
do.
a word to our audience here.
Wow. First of all, just to compliment my brother, I want to make it clear that we are not violent people.
Right.
We despise violence. We believe in reasoning, we believe in peaceful change, but we are assertive and we are confident.
Passionate.
Now, to the young people, it's important for you to know that you have everything you need to transform yourself and your countries. What you think right now, what you do right now, what you imagine right now, the friends you have right now is what determines what you're going to be and where you're going to be in 2, 3, 5 years from now. So it is not enough for us or anybody else to believe in you, but it's very important for you to believe in yourself. To believe in your talents, to be confident, to know that all those great people did whatever they did in their youthful years. And you're never too young to believe in yourself. You're never too young to be great. Nelson Mandela said some years ago that sometimes it's upon a generation to be great. This is your opportunity. This is your time. Don't wait for tomorrow. The future is today. Go for what you believe in and you'll achieve it.
Babu, I'll ask you to do the same. Speak.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What I can see around me, the people I can see are doctors around me, managers, lawyers, teachers, musicians. I can see leaders. I can see even the presidents of this nation. Therefore, the Bible says that knock, knock, and continue knocking, and the door shall be open. Seek, seek, and continue seeking, and you shall ask, ask, and continue asking, and you shall be. Speak, for what a mouth confesses, so shall it become. Therefore, speak positive vibes in your life. You are the best. You will make it. There is no difference between me and you. The only difference between you and the old person, the only difference between a young man and an old person is that an old person knows how to be old and equally knows how to be young. But a young person only knows how to be. Therefore, you still have a future.
Tell you what.
Are you inspired?
I'm super inspired.
Right.
Yes, it's always, we'd like to wish you, both of you, the best in your future endeavors and everything that you do.
I've seen a couple of tweets saying that we're interviewing two future presidents here on 10 over 10. So this, if that becomes true, you receive it. It's a moment.
It's a moment.
It's a moment.
Yeah, and we need to capture the moment. I'm ready with my selfie all the time. So, what baby? So, we stand for the selfie? Or no, Joey has come closer.
That's right.
All
right.
Wonderful.
That was amazing.
So, is Bobi going to sing again?
Am I going to sing again?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Am I allowed?
Yes.
Do I have your permission? Can you handle? Are you sure? Send it to me now.
Make some noise for Bobi Wine and Babu.
My father said there's more politics in the music industry than in the...
Are you feeling?
Let me see you on the air. Forgive them, father. They don't know who them deal with. Anyway. We are bad man, we do for intimidation. That's why we still about the nation. From Dangalaka, where we come from. It is another one. It is me. Yes, Bad Bobi One, the highest bad budget cancer. Yes, indeed. I'm Bad Bobi One, the multi-million bad man. Listen, big size, you tell big lies. I live the dream and it's just fantasize. Open your eyes, open your eyes. Just in the right and start getting eyes. We talk about that this money. Food up. Wait. You guys are making us dust. Do you know we are honorable members?
And
Thank you very much.
I'm the dancer for this music.
Definitely. Blessed. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. It's been nice chilling with you, hanging with you. God bless. Bus. Thank you. Bro.
Yeah. Apostle Wine and Babu Asante have coming through. We also must mention that they have quite the tight security hapo Elaze, and I'm told hizo security zimemix. Kuna watu wa Zambia pale, Zimbabwe. Security may come through. So as you see in the streets hapo Ethiopia, kwa tu mko tu sawa mjue hivyo ndio hiyo design. Sema yeah. All right. Right now, though, we have one more act to wrap up this beautiful 10 over 10 day. Sema wabebe. All right,